All right, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to more Black Desert. So today was patch day, and we have a few updates and events to talk about. But today, we have one of the more interesting ones. This is the second time I've seen this run, and I think it's a good thing, especially for people who are... I don't think this is a beginner event, but it's more of like the intermediate to end game one. So basically, you grind, you go do anything, and or just grind in certain areas, and then you get the pieces to turn into a cup that you put onto your accessories. And I have a video dedicated to talking about which ones are the ones you should be picking, whether you're a PvPer, PvEer, and everything else. But I just wanted to tell you guys, just as a quick update, since I thought this was obvious, but it's not. Grinding in spots that have a higher density, like, for example, Polly's Forest has a high respawn rate, will probably get you more of these versus grinding at Olin's or something where it's less. So generally, high density spots better for these, and then if you're going for them, you should get it. So I'll show you what it looks like in game. Basically, you get them, and you get the cups, and then the blue ones are basically for defensive, and the yellow ones are more offensive, but some of them, like the earrings, are you only have one choice in the necklace. So basically, you grind out 200 of them, and they're equivalent of the shards that you grind from the Elvia spots. And yeah, so very cool. So I wanted to show you what it looked like in game and what I think are the notable ones for you to get. So if you grinded out any, here is where they will be, because they're probably not going to be in your inventory this time around, because ever since they made the currency thing, they actually like zoomed this in and it looks a lot blurrier, but maybe that's just me, I don't know. So anyway, here are the items: the Jewel of Imperfect Power. And if you're looking to grind them out just for a silver, the ones that I think are going to be the important ones are rings and earrings, the ones that like are different on the priority scale. So basically, you grind them out and get those. So let's talk about this once again, because I think I have a little bit of a different opinion than my last time I made it, but it's mostly the same. So let's show you what it looks like. So yeah, as you guys can see, there's a bunch of them. And if you're on a different server, just find the one that's basically sold out and then sell that one if you're looking to just do it for profit. Okay, so this one is for the necklace. There's only one kind. This is not even in the loot table for the drop event, but it's very cheap. It doesn't matter. Just get that one. So we're talking about the rings now, and there's two options. One for HP and one for basically, wait, what is this? Crit damage. So if you are a PvPer, I do think that the blue one is slightly better. And before I go any further, I just want to say there's no right or wrong answer. So if you have a blue one, that's cool. If you have more offensive, that's also cool. There's no right or wrong answer of which one you pick. I just thought that I would share my experience using both of them. And I think overall, if you do any PvP, the blue one would be slightly better, because, you know, not dying is generally good. And then if you are a PvE exclusive person, the crit damage is nice. However, I will say that at the end game, I think that the yellow ones are probably better overall, simply because as people get more gear these days, everyone, well, I guess a lot of people are pushing up past 700 gear score. The high end, everyone is like 750 and up. And when you're really geared, I just think that the 125 HP most likely isn't going to help you. But if you're like beginner or mid-level gear, that actually will probably make a difference. But if you are at very high end, I truly think that the crit damage is probably a lot nicer. But once again, it depends where you're at. And if you chose HP all the way, I don't think that's a bad choice either. It also allows you to grind spots and, you know, maybe be a little bit safer if it's your first time trying an area you have no idea what to do, that extra like 150 or 125 times 2 might actually save you from losing crystals or anything. So next we have the belt option. So the blue one and yellow one. These are a little bit less of a choice, whereas I think the ones for the ring are actually a big difference, but the ones for your belt is a little bit less of a difference. So the blue one will give you all damage reduction +6, and the yellow one will give you all AP +3. Now, obviously, if you are just going max AP, then you might see a difference. But I realistically think that the all damage reduction is slightly better in the belt case specifically, just because, like, overall, assuming that there's room for mistake, this one is actually slightly better. And if you are at the higher end, the +3 AP is not on your sheet. It's just to your actual like stats. And will it make a difference? It could, but it depends where you're at once again. So this one is a little bit less of a what's the right word? There's a less of a gap between which one you should get, whereas the cup one is literally defensive versus huge crit damage, whereas the belt is not as bad. So ultimately, if you know how to read your stat sheets and monster AP caps, then you could figure out where you're at. Otherwise, personally, I use the blue one on my belt, and I use yellow ones on my rings. And then, of course, for the earrings, there's only one choice. These are also the most expensive. Well, I wouldn't say most expensive, but the ones that are harder to get, simply because, one, there's a lot of orders for a reason. And if you look at actually how to make it, this one is a lot of grinding in the Drain Knight area, which is yellow. I think the one that people have a lot of in terms of the shards are the red ones, because Elvia Orcs is, you know, like a very solid spot. And so, yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of just look at it and you're like, which one looks like the worst one to make? And you kind of want to just get those from the event. So, yeah, either way, I guess if you're just looking for profit, then get the one that will sell instantly, I guess. But aside from that, I do think that it's not really like a big deal what you get, because you can always just swap them in and out. Well, you kind of have to get materials. It's, I think, like, what, 1.5, 2 billion silver if you're trying to convert from blue to yellow and you have the materials. But, like, let's be honest, I think that it depends where you're at. And overall, in my opinion, I first started on blue ones, and then as I got more gear, I switched into the yellows, because crit damage, I think, is a higher damage output than just flat AP. So yeah, that's about it. So hopefully you guys learned something. If you want to watch my other video in more detail of why I chose certain things, I'll leave a link in the description to that. But if you are grinding and this is the first time you're seeing this event, and you're wondering, oh, I'm grinding, but I'm seeing these and I don't know where it is, just click the button in the Manage Currency tab up here, and it should be in your Jewel of Imperfect Power. So yeah, that's how you exchange everything as well. I will say that getting the earring one is probably going to be the most useful, simply because if you're pushing the end game, there's a lot of different earring slots you're going to be using, whereas chances are for everything else, you have one choice, and or you don't have like extra sets of earrings for like accuracy and everything. But it depends where you're at, and that's all I wanted to talk about. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you had a fantastic day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.